Hi guys, in this video I'm going to create a game in one afternoon. So in my last video I said I was getting bored of my current project and I needed something to do faster that I can make some progress on immediately. So one thing I've decided is that I am going to join a game jam. So I've picked the Game Dev TV Game Jam, which starts in a few days. To be quite honest, the main reason for joining it is because they give away a free course. But basically, I need to do something today. So it's nearly the end of my weekend. I have got one afternoon left before I've got to go back to work tomorrow. And I just feel like this weekend has been a complete washout. All I've really done is fiddled with some boring bits on Toasty Tumble. I've worked through a few tutorials again, which weren't very interesting, and I just feel like I need to do something that makes some progress. So I'm going to challenge myself to literally make something in one afternoon. It's currently just gone 12 o'clock. So I've decided I'm going to do, let me just turn my screen back on, an underwater like ocean cleanup type game. So I have found these assets on this site by Game Developer Studio. This guy has done all of the artwork is basically his. So a little submarine there can go through and kind of just like pick up trash, maybe avoid beastie fishes. Have I got some other fish? Yeah, I've got like some friendly fish. These ones are free. So I should be able to do something here. Only has to be really simple, but I want to get something finished in one afternoon. All right, I've got something on the screen, but it's taken me way too long. It is 2:15 and I've only managed to get the background going. But, well, I've now learned how to do parallax scrolling. So it's taken me far too long, but I'm actually really pleased with how this looks. I had to fiddle with all the artwork. I was really hoping I wouldn't have to do that. But it's actually pretty neat the way it works. So if I go into my scene view, no, not that button, that button. The layers work is that you kind of draw them in front of each other in this way, and these are using not the water. That's just a static sprite. But other than the water, these three, the rocks, the midground, which is the light blue one, and the foreground, they are using a plane in here. Where is it? I can't find it now. Here. It's using a plane, and the script for this is actually really simple. Yeah, so I've got that. Still don't have a game, but getting somewhere. We have a submarine, which is animated. I'm seeing a very slightly jerky movement, and I think the reason for that is the way the sprite sheet is laid out. I've been fiddling with it a little bit in an editor. I think that one of them might be positioned just like a pixel or two out. But one of those things, because I'm trying to do this in one afternoon, I'm just not going to mess with it. So it's good enough for now. So yeah, I've got a player now. No movement or anything, but it's just appearing on the screen. But at least I've got animation, which I didn't have in any of my previous games. I've only done one Unity game. Alright, we've now got a submarine that can move around. I've clamped the movement so it can't go like off the top of the screen. The trash, obviously it's not doing anything yet. I'm just setting up the I haven't actually created them as prefabs, but I'm just setting up the colliders and stuff like that. It's occurred to me at this point that this game is actually quite similar to Toasty Tumble. It's going to be a side scroller where you pick stuff up and avoid things, but never mind. Yep, so I've got the basic movement now. I need to work out the prefabs. I might just do the same kind of spawning with the object pooling as I did in Toasty Tumble. I don't know. I'll see how it works. If it starts being a pain in the ass, I'll just do something simpler because we're already 4 p.m. That was actually really easy. I was able to literally just drop my prefab spawner class in from Toasty Tumble and then just use it. So I've just got a trash manager and yeah, just a couple of lines of code and it just works. So like before in Toasty Tumble, it uses the same kind of thing. So I've got an object pool just sitting over there, and then this is just checking for collisions. Obviously there's nothing to collide with at the moment because I don't have anything else in the game. I haven't done the pickup code yet. So I'll do that next. But in terms of spawning, yeah, it just works. So I'm really glad that I went to the effort to refactor that prefab spawner when I was doing Toasty Tumble. That's now something that I could put maybe in like a library or something, so I could use it in other projects. Obviously, I have just literally just copy and pasted. I've just made a copy of the file basically for this project, so I'm trying to do this quickly. But I will clean that up another time. So yeah, 4:30. So we're getting somewhere. Right, I managed to put in some basic scoring. I found a little watery looking UI panel and a kind of a bubbly font, which I think fits quite nicely. But I ran out of time. I actually ended up wasting a bunch of time trying to get these objects to rotate so they weren't all just like looking exactly the same. And I couldn't do it basically. Any method that I used to try and rotate the object just also rotated its axis, which meant that instead of moving left, it just started flying off in different directions. It's now 7 p.m. I've run out of time. I need to stop for today. So I haven't managed to make a complete game, but I've got something. I don't know if I feel better or worse. So I'm kind of glad that I've got something done, but on the other hand, now I feel like I've just got 2 unfinished projects. So I needed to do something this weekend to feel like I've been slightly productive, but I don't really know at this point if it was helpful. But anyway, I've got a few days. I've got a little bit of time over the next few days. Obviously, I'm working, but I'll have a few hours most days to do a little bit of work, and then I'm going to start. I'm going to do that game, that game jam on Friday. So I'll have probably a third unfinished project. But anyway, so this was my experiment to try and get a game done in an afternoon. Kind of failed, but it's not too bad. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Speak to you next time.